Between Spare, the Netflix series, and everything else, it looks like Harry's actions are finally catching up with him. So much so that peace talks between his father are reportedly not happening.
We want privacy! We want privacy!
Welcome to Popcorn Palace. I am Andy Signor with your royal update for today. And yes, we got two stories here to react to. Related in a way, it looks like King Charles and Prince Harry will not have their peace talks. Allegedly speculated for September 17th. It will not be happening. Now, before we get to that one, let's start here with this story coming in from the Express over in UK. It's hitting home now. Prince Harry's decisions are catching up with him, experts say. Wanted to react to this one. Comes in from our own Kinsey. We love her. Duke of Sussex is now realizing that he is less than the sum of his parts outside the royal firm. Royal experts are suggesting. The painful reality of what Prince Harry has done will now be hitting home, a royal expert is claiming. Royal author and historian Dr. Tessa Dunlap said the Duke of Sussex had embarked on an incredibly difficult journey in stepping back as a working royal and telling his side of the story, the extent of which he probably did not comprehend. Author of the 2022 work explained that although she has compassion for Harry, he is now less than the sum of his parts outside of the royal family, being within which he took for granted. Speaking to royal commentator Kinsey Schofield over on the To Die For Daily podcast, which we endorse over here, Dr. Dunlap said the Duke should not have rushed into this difficult, albeit lucrative, journey. She said, I think it's been an incredibly difficult journey. I don't think Harry has many assets. I don't think he had the intellectual acumen and probably grounding in history, bizarrely, to understand just what he was trying to achieve. He needed to go much slower, but I totally understand why the impetus lad, the rival sibling, the bruised man, wanted to smack it out there really quickly, get some very easy hits, except they've proved quite hard hits, but lucrative ones, that's for sure, under his belt. And I don't think he would have ever envisaged the difficulty. With it now being more than 3 years since the couple announced they would not return to Royal Rose, Dr. Dunlap believes the Duke is now realizing the reality of what it means to be outside of the firm. We have to own when you're part of the royal family. The building bricks that come with the institution mean you are greater than the sum of your parts, which means that by definition, Harry outside royalty is less than the sum of his parts had he stayed in the institution. I think that's something very painful. It's a reality that will be hitting home for him now. And I've always felt compassion for Harry, and I continue to feel compassion because he was born into something. When you're born into something, you take it for granted. I think this is really spot on, really well said. And I've said this before. It's like he gave up so much of the gossip, right? So much of that meat that he thought we would just get all this money for. Like, ooh, all the royal gossip. I'm going to throw everyone under the bus. I'm going to write the book. I'm going to do this series. We're going to get it all out there and tell our story. We're going to do Oprah. I'm going to do a whole interview series around all the late night shows to promote my book, etc. We'll get it all out to rally in the funds. And he admitted on Oprah. That he was doing this because he knew he needed to rally up funds to pay for security for his family, etc. That's really what set this all off. But I really firmly agree and don't believe he really understood what he was doing and how the way he was doing it so quickly over this past year and so, boom, it was too much. He gave it all up. He gave away the golden goose, and now that that's been given, people are either bored or just look at him as if, yikes, no thanks, dude. You just totally threw your family under the bus. So I can understand why peace talks are still not happening. Now, this is coming in from The Independent. King Charles and Prince Harry, peace talks are reportedly not happening. There was talk that they would do this in September. Peace talks between his son are not going to happen as hoped, according to royal sources. Again, sources. Contrary to what many have speculated, the reconciliation is not on the agenda for September, according to sources spoke to the Daily Beast. Sources allege that there will be no summit at Balmoral, nor a reunion with Queen Camilla and the Prince and Princess of Wales. It was initially reported that the father-son duo would make time to meet on September 17th, which would coincide with the end of Harry's Invictus Games trip to Dusseldorf in Germany and the King's return to London from Balmoral. King Charles is due to return to London from Balmoral in the middle of September, which ties in with the end of the Invictus Games trip to Dusseldorf. The king had rescheduled an official visit to France on the 20th of September, so he had a few days to spare. Get it? Spare. In London to meet with his son. Drop a comment if you laughed. Oh, drop a comment if you didn't laugh. Just helps the engagement. Staff are trying to fine-tune the details as we speak. However, sources allegedly scoffed at reports that the king and his youngest son will reunite and clear the air on the September 17th, but not for reasons that indicate a lack of wanting peace. King Charles is expected to make an important state visit to France on the 20th. Insiders dismiss the notion of any physical meeting happening. So yeah, apparently now we're getting real speculative territory. The king reportedly is open to a dialogue with his son. Reports there that there is no chance of his heir, Prince William, agreeing to any sort of discussion. Friend of Prince William explained to the outlet he feels utterly betrayed by what Harry wrote about him in the book and said about him on Netflix. Who would blame him? Who would blame him? They were very close growing up, so it's been very painful for William. But ultimately, what can he do? Just look at Spare. It's literally William's worst nightmare. It's a total violation of his privacy. On top of that, Harry has criticized Kate in the way he is bringing up his children. The source called the situation very sad and said that it is completely understandable that William is still disgusted by the actions of his brother. The last time the three of them convened was after Prince Philip's funeral in Windsor, as described in the opening scene of Prince Harry's explosive memoir Spare. The secret meeting was nothing short of contentious. Harry had flown in to talk about the state of things with his brother and father, but this talk soon devolved into a fight between the two brothers. According to the Duke, he alleged that his older brother William had shown up to the meeting ready for a fight. At the time, Charles was forced to play peacemaker between the rival siblings. Please, boys, don't make my final years a misery. Now, this is coming from Harry's book, right? And it's like, Harry, you're doing it. You're causing all this stress. And then maybe, okay, fine, maybe they're both causing stress. But you aired it all out for everyone to read, which is so against the protocol. For what? For some book sales? This is why people are so upset at him. So yeah, Harry has continued to take swipes at the monarchy. Charles has been less lenient with Harry, recently making the move to remove his Royal Highness child from the website, which was a while ago, but still, it's a big deal. However, Omid Scobie, a journalist and a royal biographer who has worked closely with the Sussex, revealed in May that although Spare was a point of contention between Harry and his family, it did not mean they were not in communication. I don't think people know there has been somewhat regular pattern of conversation between him and his father since that book. Scobie continued to elaborate. Now, they discussed the details and the points that he wanted to go into. From what I hear, no, but he has had contact with his dad. Interesting thoughts there coming in. I don't know if I believe it. Then again, it's his son. You'd think he'd want to have some communication. Either way, I believe these decisions are catching up with him. I believe he's going to quickly, and starting to see, if he hasn't already, he's going to see it quickly, that these were not secrets worth selling. Because at the end of the day, money's something that comes. You can get it other ways. And I think he's going to run out of it and quickly realize, crap, I can't cash in as much on this as I thought, and I don't want to. At least that's what I hope he does. We'll see if he sells more secrets, or if Meghan does in her book. So much more to come, no doubt. So if you want to hear more royal gossip and tea, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell for alerts, smash that like button, and yeah, leave a comment down below. What do you think? Do you believe these reports? Which one do you believe more? Do you believe them both? Do you believe one less? I want to hear your thoughts. Also, just helps with the engagement. And it's check out over on Popcorn Planet. We had a Meghan Markle update. They're doing a bus tour? Yep. Apparently. Go check it out over on Popcorn Planet. Stay tuned for more here on Popcorn Palace and Popcorn Planet. The galaxy continues to expand.